Hi everyone, welcome to week 3. So far so good. I appreciate everybody and how hard they're working, so keep it up. Just a few things. You probably have already seen that your homework from week 1 has been graded. Now that it is Monday, I'm going to start working on week 2 assignments and get those back to you. If you have any questions, let me know. Just remember that my comments are embedded into your assignment, so you have to go back in and open it up to see some of my comments. So the other thing I did want to say is that I definitely noticed a difference in your initial post in your forum this week. I want to just ask and recommend everybody still continue to dig deeper, use the text to help add that substance to your initial post. And of course, if you cite anything, we want you to do that in-text citation, which we're going to be learning about this week, and there's some PowerPoints to help you with that, and include a works cited too. Make sure you always cite your sources if you're pulling information. So start practicing that this week. And as always, look at the forum rubric if you have any questions about, exactly how to earn the highest points with that. Another quick thing is that I know Labor Day is coming up, and so I did want to let everybody know that I'm going to be traveling. I will continue to check this classroom every single day. I may not be able to check it, as many times as I have been, but I promise you that I will be in the classroom every day. If there's something urgent, you know that my phone number is on the syllabus, and you can always call me. Just know that with traveling, I may not be able to get back to you as quickly as I probably have been. So just wanted to let you all know that. So let's go ahead and dive into this. You can see the screen in front of you. We're going to be talking about week 3 assignments. So you can see there, I want you to read chapter 7 in Mindset, and there is a reflection paper due by Sunday about chapter 7. New Beginnings, chapter 7 and 8, and then of course your writer's reference. There's some pages there for you to read. So what is going to be due this week? As you know, you're going to have your weekly reflection forum. Same thing, initial post is going to be due Thursday by midnight, and then you have to respond to 2 classmates by Sunday at midnight. The weekly reflection forum is just asking about you being an adult learner. What obstacles do you think are going to kind of get in your way, and how are you going to work through those? So I'm looking forward to hearing what you all are going to be writing. If you already looked at the syllabus, which I'm sure you probably have seen that there is a research paper that will be due in week 5. So in weeks 3 and 4, we're going to be preparing you to write that paper. And in week 3, I want you to choose your topic, and I want you to start a working thesis or to draft a thesis statement that you're going to send to me by Sunday at midnight. In addition, there are 2 academic sources that are required for this research paper. One, of course, could be a required text, the New Beginnings or Mindset book, but I do want you to use something from the Collins Library as well. So your research paper, that item that will be due in week 3 by Sunday is 1, pick a topic. 2, I want you to write a thesis statement. And then I want you to find 2 academic sources and create a works cited page for those 2 sources. So there is a document under week 3 resources about the guidelines for the research paper, so I recommend that you read that. And then there are also lots of information about the thesis statement. In fact, if I can toggle between screens here, I will show you really quick that there's a really great PowerPoint, as you can see here, about thesis statements. Tells you what it is and all of that. The one thing I do want to reiterate about a thesis statement is that it's more than just stating facts. The thesis statement is basically something that you can argue, or something that is more than just stating the facts. So the PowerPoint is going to be really good for you to review that. I also have a few more resources that you can look at under week 3 resources. One is a fun little song about thesis statements. Another is just a short video talking a little bit more about what a thesis statement is. So I highly recommend you read that. If you have any questions, or you're not sure if you're on the right track, feel free to email me what you have, and I can help you as well. So that's what's due with the research paper. There is another academic writing skill exercise. And, when you open up the writing skill exercise, there are going to be kind of two different sources that you're going to evaluate to see if they're academic and if they would be good in a research. On the first page of the academic writing skill, there is a website that you'll go to and you'll look at that article to answer the questions. On the second page, it gives you a really long link for an article, or I posted the article right underneath the academic writing skill in Moodle. So you don't have to go to the Collins Library and find it unless you want to. It's actually posted there. So you need to evaluate the two sources. One is the website that's planted inside the document. The second source is actually kind of an extra link in Moodle that you can look at. So that's going to be due Sunday by midnight. There is another PowerPoint that I want you to look at. It's called Plagiarism and Source Integration. Basically, it talks about why do we have to cite sources, why is it so important, and so make sure you take a look at that. And then the mindset response questions, you're going to read Chapter 7. It talks about the roles of a coach, a parent, and a teacher. I want you to choose one of those roles and kind of reflect about what you read and your own experience and kind of tell me how the growth and fixed mindset kind of applies. So that's a 1 to 2 page paper that you're going to submit by Sunday. I really want you to try out an introduction paragraph and then having a body paragraph or 2 body paragraphs and then a conclusion paragraph. So moving forward in all your classes, you'll kind of do this. They call it the 5-paragraph essay, the intro, a paragraph for 3 main points and a conclusion. So I want you to try that out for this week, and you will need to include 1 in-text citation. And remember, if you have an in-text citation, you always have to have a works cited page. And as we learned in week 2, a works cited page is separate from the paper. So, and then finally, there is not anything due for your group presentation in week 3, but I do want to encourage you to follow whatever guidelines or deadlines you set for yourself in the task sheet in week 2. Continue to use the forums for collaboration in week 2 if you need to, but just know that in week 4, that group presentation will be due on Thursday. So again, what's due this week? You see the readings there. You have your weekly reflection forum. You have to find a topic, create a thesis, find sources, and do a works cited for your research paper. Complete the academic writing exercise, and then also the mindset response question will be due on Sunday. So again, if you have, I know that this is starting to get into some heavy material, and this material you're going to have kind of reiterated throughout your program, so it's going to feel a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. The reason why I have you send me the thesis before you write your paper is so I can provide feedback and get that back to you in week 4. So the assignment that you do for week 4 will expand upon your thesis statement, and we'll just kind of get you ready for that research paper due in week 5. So that's all that I had for you for this week. I will send some neat midweek love around Wednesday or Thursday. And of course, I'll be checking in every day this week, even though I'm traveling. So please let me know if you need me. And again, keep up the great work. I'm really proud of everyone. Thanks. See you next Monday.